Now when you get a new battery, and again, make sure you get the right kind, because it is a specialty battery. It's pretty much like your normal battery. It has positive, negative terminal. These just have caps on them. But one thing you'll notice is there are two things that are different about it. One of them is right here. I'll show you where an electrical component plugs in, and I believe that's to check the temperature. And the other, and I don't know if you can see it, but right here, there's a place for a hose to hook in to vent any fumes. This is pretty much all we're going to need today. We're going to need a 10mm wrench, and if you have one of these extenders, I feel like it's pretty useful for one of the bottom screws. I'll show you which one. Now the battery is in the trunk on the right side. Once you move back this plastic covering, you'll see it there. So pretty much here's what we have to do. We have to remove this metal bracket that's holding it in place. First we're going to remove the negative terminal, then we're going to remove the positive terminal. And then once we get this out of the way, get these disconnected, you can see that little white right there is where the electrical plugs in that I was showing you. And right here is the hose that we also have to connect, where that plugs in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take off this brace. Alright, we've got that first one off. I'm going to put the extender on so I can get that second one. Just right down here. Alright, second one's out. That bracket will just pull right out. Now what we need to do is, still using the 10mm, that's what we're going to use for everything here. We need to take off this negative terminal first. And make sure that you're not touching that metal and accidentally touch that, obviously. So just be careful. This one's kind of a tight fit, but I was able to get in there without having to remove any of the plastic. You don't have to take the bolt all the way off, you just need to. Man. You just need to get it loose enough that you can slide it off the terminal. And again, don't be afraid to touch that, just make sure once you get it, you're not touching the positive terminal while you're touching it. And once you get it off, make sure it doesn't touch anything metal in the car, either one of these. Okay, so we've got that one off. Now we'll move to the positive terminal. Just bring back this plastic here, and again, we just need to loosen it enough to get it off. There we go. So we got that one off. I'm going to set it to the side. This one's got kind of a shorter cable, so just be careful what it touches. Now this part's a little bit hard to see, but like I said, there's a hose that connects into the battery right here. And all we need to do is pull that straight out. It's a little bit stubborn, but it will come out, and it looks like that. So you can see it has little grooves that keep it in there. And then the other one we need to disconnect is right back here. And it just slides out as well. It has a little groove on the top that you have to push down to get it to release, but then it'll slide right out. Now, being careful not to let that touch anything, we just need to slide this battery out. And then the new battery will slide right in. There we go. Takes a little finagling, but we got it in there. So now we need to connect this hose. We need to connect the electric component first, and then we'll do the red, then we'll do the black, then we'll put the brace back on and we'll be done. I should have said this, I actually think it's easier to get this hose back on before you slide the battery the rest of the way in. You can see right here where it needs to go. You just, it's got a little that you have to line up. So it's gonna kind of be coming out towards you and then going down. Just line it up with the groove. And honestly, if you want to do the other one too, not a bad idea. That cable's a little bit shorter, so I might have to slide it in a little more first, but camera shy. There we go. So again, this just slides right into where it slid out of on the old battery. You'll hear it click into place. This is how you know it's good and secured. So we have the hose connected, we have the temperature gauge connected, or whatever that thing is. So we're gonna put the positive terminal on first. Make sure we slide it on there nice and snug. Make sure that the negative terminal is not touching anything metal. Make sure that's slid all the way down onto that. Get it nice and snug. Now the negative one, as you may remember, kind of a beast to slide in there and get it tightened, but just do the best you can. Again, being very careful not to touch the red positive terminal while you're working with the negative. Okay, now here's an important point. When you're putting this bracket back on, don't tighten the top one down too much before you get the bottom one in, or it'll be too tight and you won't be able to bend it down. I did that the first time. I'm gonna go ahead and put the bottom first just because I know I had trouble with it last time. And don't tighten it all the way, kind of do a little bit there, and then make sure you get the screw on the top one too. And this one's a little tricky. Just make sure you don't drop it back there. Alright, let's tighten this top one. Alright, tighten this bottom one the rest of the way. There we go. So everything's in place. Both terminals tightly connected. The hose is connected. The temperature gauge is connected. We should be good to go. Let's go make sure it'll start now. All right, give that a shot. Start right up for us. Now you will notice that you'll need to reset the time. I don't know if you can read the time there. And you'll also get this little message. That's because we totally disconnected the battery, so it just takes a little bit to update that. Now this is the second time that I've done this, and both times, the very first time I still got that same error where I got that orange light coming on, and it really made me worried, but I just tried it again, restarted it. It starts right up after that.